Hello dear children, from chapter probability we have learned some of the basic concepts, and in the previous video lecture we started with exercise 15.1 and solved few examples. Today we are going to solve few more examples from this exercise, but before that I would like all of you to have a look at the important points of this chapter. First is the formula for finding the probability of an event, which is very important, that probability of an event E is equal to total number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. This formula we will be using almost for every example of probability, so it's very important. Other than this, one very important thing, that probability of an event lies between 0 and 1. It is always equal to or greater than 0, and it is always less than or equal to 1. Second important thing we have learned about the complementary events, that the probability of an event E plus probability of complementary of that event E is always equal to 1. We can also read it like probability of E plus probability of not E is equal to 1, and with this we get one more relation, that probability of not E is equal to 1 minus probability of E. Along with this, another very important thing, that the sum of probabilities of all the elementary events of an experiment is always equal to 1. So with this revision from the previous video lesson, we would go ahead with this chapter, but before that I want all of you to have a quick revision for the complementary events. As I told you, two events are said to be complementary of each other if they do not have any element in common, and if you combine these two events, they'll give you the sample space. So let's understand this complementary event with one example. The example is that a die is rolled. You have to write an event of getting a number which is equal to or greater than 5, and the second event is a number which is less than or equal to 4. So two events we have to write for this particular given example. Let's consider E be the event of getting a number which is equal to and greater than 5. So event E will be in the curly bracket, the number will be 5 and 6. Second event is, what is the event of getting a number which is less than or equal to 4? So when you throw a die, all the numbers which are less than or equal to 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. We will write the second event as F. So you have written two events, event E and event F. Now look at this event F, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Both the events, none of the elements are common. So I can say that E and F are complementary event, because if I combine them, they'll give me the sample space. Now instead of this F, event F, I can also write this event as E bar. So complement of an event can be written like this. E and F are complementary events of each other. So F I can write as E bar. So E and E bar are complementary events. Alright? And from this only we got the relation that the probability of an event E plus probability of complement of that event is always equal to 1. Or I'll read it like P of E plus P of not E will always be equal to 1, and this is one of the very important relations which you have to keep in mind. And with this revision, let's now move ahead to the next sum of exercise 15.1. In the previous video lesson, we have solved 5 examples. So here is question number 6. The question is, a bag contains lemon flavored candies only. Malini takes out one candy without looking into the bag. What is the probability that she takes out an orange flavored candy? Look at the sum. The bag has all lemon colored candies. Look at the bag, all lemon colored candies. You are asked, what is the probability that she takes out an orange flavored candy? Is it possible? Just see that. The bag contains lemon flavored candies only, alright? It doesn't contain any orange flavor candies. So every time when Malini is taking out a candy from the bag, it will be lemon colored candy only, isn't it? So the event that Malini will take out an orange flavored candy is an impossible event. It is not possible because the bag doesn't have orange colors or orange color candies. So it's an impossible event, and probability of impossible event is always 0, and therefore probability of an orange flavored candy is equal to 0. Alright, you can solve this example by another method also. Now you are not given how many candies are there in the bag. So you will take, let the number of candies in the bag be 100. Okay, then the number of candies which are orange flavored will be 0 because there are no orange color candies in the bag. So probability that the candy taken out has orange flavored is equal to number of candies which are orange flavored upon total number of candies. Now number of candies which are orange flavored are 0 and total number of candies we have taken as 100, and 0 upon 100 is equal to 0. So with this method also you get the same answer. Alright. Now the second probability you are asked is, what is the probability that Malini will take out a lemon flavored candy? Now see, the bag has all lemon colored candies. Alright. So Malini will take out only lemon colored candies from the bag. There is no other flavored candies in the bag. So the event that Malini will take out only lemon colored candies is a sure event, and probability of sure event is always equal to 1. Therefore probability that a lemon flavored candy will be taken out from the bag is equal to 1. Alright. Then this can also be solved by another method. You take the total number of candies as 100. So the number of candies which are lemon, that is equal to 100. So probability of the candy taken out which is lemon flavored is equal to the number of candies which are lemon flavored upon total number of candies. So see the formula once again. We have taken number of candies which are lemon flavored as 100. Total number of candies are also 100. 100 upon 100 is 1. So probability of candy which is taken out to be lemon flavored is equal to 1. So you can solve this by any method, that is absolutely your choice. Moving to the next sum. This is question number 7. It is given that in a group of 3 students, the probability of 2 students not having the same birthday is 0.992. What is the probability that the 2 students have the same birthday? Now you are given probability of the 2 students not having the same birthday as 0.992. And what is asked? What is the probability that the 2 students have the same birthday? Now see how the sum goes. Now probability that the 2 students are not having same birthday is given to us, that is 0.992. So It is like you have to make use of the formula which I told you, which is very important. That is P of not E is equal to 1 minus P of E. So what is P of not E? P of not E is P, or probability of student not having same birthday, and that is equal to 1 minus probability of students having the same birthday, isn't it? So we have made the use of the formula which I was telling you. We have the values, let's substitute. So P of not having same birthday is equal to 1 minus P of having the same birthday. Now P of having the same birthday we have to find out, and we are given that P of not having the same birthday as 0.992. Let's substitute the values. So 0.992 is equal to 1 minus P of having the same birthday. Shift the terms and you get the answer. Probability of the students having the same birthday is equal to 1 minus 0.992, and the answer is 0.008. Alright, so the probability of the two students having the same birthday is equal to 0.008. Easy, children. Probability is one of the easiest chapter in our book, so I don't think you will find it difficult. Both the sums by both the methods, please go once again, solve it, and whichever method you find simple, you can solve the sum by that method. Remaining sums we will solve in the next video lesson. Till then, bye and take care.